The majority of interview rounds nowadays, they take place via Zoom or other video call platforms. The end goal in the process is the same. Evaluate if you are the right fit for the position that needs to be filled. No difference to a presential interview whatsoever. And for that, it is crucial to be a star level prepared for your Zoom interviews. Here are my 8 tips to up your game. Let's go. Hi, it's Lassi Albin. Welcome to my channel, where I share weekly tips and advice on how you can accelerate your career. I invite you to subscribe to my channel right below here. Also hit the bell button to ensure that you don't miss any of the future career acceleration tips. Let's jump right into the 8 tips for boosting your Zoom interview performance. Ready to be a star of your next interview? Tip number 1. Like with all my interview prep videos, always number 1 is research. You can't go very far without researching the company, finding out whatever you need to find out to be prepared for the interview. Company, news, their products, their strategy, who are your interviewers, especially important to find out who's going to be there on the other side of the camera lens in this case. Research. Number 2, prepare the questions. It's easy to forget that because it's a video interview that we suddenly forget that it's an interview. It is an interview. They will ask the same questions as they would ask in a presential meeting. Prep the interview questions. You know what's coming already. If you've been following the videos, learning the interview questions, prep the questions. Number 3, the space. You need a quiet space with no interruptions during the interview, no steps coming from the stairs, no somebody swooping from the side. I've seen it a million times happening that people get distracted. And it's not just a physical distraction, it's your thinking process and the flow that's interrupted. So pick a space which is quiet, let people know it needs to be quiet, and then focus on the lighting. What about lighting? I mean, I use big light boxes for filming, but if you have a chance to get a natural light coming through a window, then that's a good place to start. But the light needs to come from behind, from front of you, not from the back. If you come from the back, you know what happens. You're going to be all black, and it's going to be like a police series investigation happening. Light comes from there in front of you. If you don't have that chance, for example, I film in a place where there's no windows. I use lighting. I use white light. You can just go to Amazon or other web shop and look for lights. Look for lights, these kind of small LED lights, white lights. You can find them for YouTubers. You can find them for video calling. I'm going to put a few links below here that I'm looking at the moment as well, because I have these big lights, but I also want the small lights. And those ones you can use not just for the interviews, but for any call. Lighting. Make sure you have a lighting that creates a clear, crisp picture of you, your face. And it's not yellowish, it needs to be white. And background. If you're going to use a natural background, which is preferable, then make sure it's a fresh, clean background, either a bookshelf or a white wall, something that is neutral, something doesn't take attention away, something that doesn't, so that the interviewer doesn't go picking around like, what's there? And maybe even with the books, like I have this tendency of looking at the books like, what does that book say? Simple is good here. And no laundry hanging in the back, none of that stuff. No garage setting where you have bikes in the background. Make sure it's professional. Good. Number 4, tech. Whether you're using Zoom from your phone or PC, I personally prefer PC, but a phone as a backup. I always have a backup for everything. Too many times I've gone wrong. Something always breaks. No? Phone or PC, make sure you have the app installed the day before. You most probably have it already, but if it's the first time you're using it, please install the app and see that it works. You can start a free Zoom account. You can start a new call with nobody in it except you, and then you can test the camera, you can test the microphone, you can even record the session and see that everything runs. Not 5 minutes before the call, not in the beginning of the call, the day before. Same goes for microphone and camera. Very few cameras that are integrated in the PC are good. I would always recommend getting an external camera. I've always used Logitech cameras. Now I have a streaming camera. Then they have the C920, and then they have the upscale, which is the Brio, which is sometimes hard to get your hands on demand, depending on the budget. But all those are good options and way better than your regular integrated camera. Great investment, not just for interviews, but in general as well. Microphone, headphones work okay already. You don't need any external mics. Professional headphones, good quality, those are good. If you want to be extra safe, then use the one with the cord. I use something like this. Those are Bose. The color is probably not that great. Sometimes I use cordless Bluetooth headphones, but I always have two sets, always a backup, something with the cable if your battery runs dead, so you can just quickly switch. Then you have tip number 5. Use the screen. If you're on a tablet or if you're on a PC, use the screen for notes. You can have notes for your CV, which you should have job description, points that you want to convey. Just like we mentioned on the phone interview as well, have those with you. And if you can fit them on your screen, you can kind of cascade the screens and put the main points there, put the job description there on the side, and then the video in the middle. If you have a screen that accommodates that, that's great. Why is that? Because at all times you need to be looking at the camera. Now if I look at on the side, if I start thinking, if I go here, if I start looking down, I don't have the connection. And you're not going to have the eyes. So I need to be looking at the camera lens here. And that's what you need to be doing as well. The camera lens and the camera should be right there on the level of your eyes. If your notes are on the sides there, it still looks like you're looking into the camera. If I go browsing through here for my papers, I lose the connection. And I also lose a bit of a professionalism. Put them there. It's a good trick. Number 6, dress. Dress up. We talked about it before. Dress up like the other parties dressing up as well. If it's an informal company, go informal. If it's more formal, go formal. Suit. In most cultures, suit will be overdoing it if you're calling from a home office. There can be cultures where suit is a must for that position, then wear a suit. Dress up to the occasion. The last 2 points, 7, energy and smile. If I smile here, you get a better feeling. I radiate energy. I'm excited. I'm motivated about this position. I like this position. I like talking with you, and this feels comfortable. That's very, very important, even if it's through the camera. It's of great essence to be on a positive vibe and to radiate and transmit this energy. And finally, point number 8, thank you note. It's a video call, it's a video interview, but in an equal way, send a thank you note, preferably the same evening that the interview took place. There you go. Put those Zoom tips into action. And yes, if you found this video useful, please subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next video.